Hello, buddy. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and blessed day. And I got some really exciting stuff to share with you guys today. This is a Sizzle session. So let me really explain to you what a Sizzle session is. In a lot of companies, they have, presentations, they have trainings, and then they have trainings, and then they have trainings, and then, then they have like trainings, and it's like, so what a Sizzle session is a Sizzle session is to pick a few individuals that have actually from last week to this week actually had some wins in their life, and I'm talking about with the business. A lot of people would like to say, I was able to, bench press 155 pounds. That's not what this is about. This is 100% about getting results based on what we're doing. And what I do is I ask a couple of guests to come on here, and I'm going to let them speak and tell you some of their results. And so the first person I'm going to have come on here is Daniel. So Daniel, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, there I am. Can you hear me?
Daniel, the first thing I want to tell everybody about you is how proud I am of you, because you're in Colombia. And yes, according to the rest of the world, you're not able to do business in Colombia. And let me explain why. Most people say, I can't do business in my city because no one else is in this city. See, I need someone to work with. And I also need an office in my backyard that has a manager. And I also want to be able to buy products from my backyard. So yeah. Daniel, why don't you tell everybody, I know you're from Colombia, and which, by the way, you guys, you see the way Daniel spells his name. If you go on YouTube and watch this guy play guitar, oh my God, it just melts your heart. But Daniel, why don't you tell everybody how you and I met? And you're giving me calls on a almost weekly basis. Tell me about something new and excited to you. And first of all, how long have you been in network marketing and been this incredible, great income earner?
Okay, so thank you for having me on, first of all. Well, the first time I met, I got to be in a network marketing company was like 10 years ago, maybe 12. A friend of mine invited me. He went to a gig of mine. As you say, I'm a musician, I'm a guitar player. And he said, hey, I have this project I want you to work on with me. So I was like, is this a recording? Is this a recording session or something? So I was very curious. He piqued my curiosity. So I went ahead and went on a Zoom, and he told me about a project like this. And a few months later, I joined, like 8 months later. It was a very tough cookie, as you guys say. So then I joined, and to my surprise, I did very well. I think it was because I had a kind of a good reputation with my friends, and they probably said, if he's in something like this, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a cool thing to be involved in that. So maybe that's why I did very well. But then that company couldn't go on. And to make this story short, I started following Robert maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, I've been following you for quite some time.
I didn't know that you've been stalking me. I had no idea.
So I don't remember why I started following you, to be honest. I don't remember, but I knew that you had a lot of results, and the way you did things was very different. So I got very curious about what you did, and I attended a few of network marketing events. So I heard a lot of stories of normal people making it and making a lot of income. So I was very inspired by a lot of people. So I got in touch with one of your affiliates who lives in Peru, and I decided to join with him because I wanted someone to be able to speak in Spanish and maybe bridge that gap. Yeah, I joined a few months ago, but it was because of you. I I saw your results and your spiritual side. So I think I felt a kind of a connection. And yeah, that's kind of my story in network marketing.
And so how's things been going now, doing a little bit of different stuff?
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I've been having to relearn stuff, unlearn the way I used to do things, and it's been kind of, yeah, sometimes tough. But yeah, I want to share a couple of wins this week with you guys. I got in touch with a friend of mine who's a bass player in one of the bands I play, and I just told him, hey, this I'm working on this. Maybe you know someone in Spain or the United States, because at that time, some products were not available in Colombia. Right now, it is available, the Feel Factor, so I'm very excited about that. But at that time, it wasn't. So I told him, maybe you know someone, and he had a friend in Spain. So he gave me the number, and I just reached him just the way you taught me, exactly what you said. I said, I'm friends with David. His name is David. And I spoke with him, and let me tell you, we're helping expand this company from the US in Spain and Europe. And yeah, and I talked with David, and I told him that you guys they are looking for people who want to make extra income. Maybe you know someone. And the thing was that he wasn't interested. He referred me to a friend of his who had some experience with network marketing. So he immediately just said, yeah, send me a video. He watched the video, and then he sent me the number of this other guy called Oscar. And then I reached him exactly the same.
Wait a minute. Your one person gave you a referral, and then another person gave you a referral, and now you're talking to the third person that gave you a referral?
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
so it's David.
Keep talking. There's no way that this can work. Go ahead.
So it's David, my friend, like a close friend of mine. Then it's Carlos, I think is his name. I don't know this guy. He's a musician as well. And Carlos referred me to Oscar.
Okay.
And then Oscar was a very interested person. He said, like, this is very exciting. Like, gas prices here in Spain are really expensive. This could be a huge opportunity. And he said, can you send me more? And he started to ask questions. And I guided him to some videos, and he created a free account, and he was asking questions. And then he said, you know what? I want to talk to this girl. So it would be a fourth person. And this girl is called Claudia, and she's a very business oriented. She had some experience, and she purchased an executive pack. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, she just purchased an executive pack with the Feel Factor, and she's very excited as well as Oscar, my friend. Well, my new friend, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so excellent. I feel like it works. So
my question to you is, the first guy, the bass player, did he create a free account?
He actually did.
Okay.
But I told him about you, you know. I told him I'm working with this guy. He's very successful, but he's not like really, you know, into it. He's kind of distracted, I guess.
Yeah.
So
here's the best way to say it, Daniel, on everyone. Maybe right person, wrong time.
Yeah, that sounds.
See,
like that.
That's everybody, right? It's like they're either the wrong person at the right time.
Right.
They say, oh my God, this is perfect. Now that you sponsored me, Daniel, you don't have to do anything. I'm going to make you a billionaire, you know? And it's like, yeah, whatever. And then you got the wrong person at the right person at the wrong time. And then you got the person at the right time. So I'm just so proud of you. For those of you that didn't see, you know, this is what happened to him. And the bottom person came in as an executive.
Yep.
And so, wow, you could find let me get this right,
Thank you.
Daniel. You could talk to people you don't know on social media, or you can ask someone if they know someone, and then ask them if they know someone, and then ask them if they know someone, and then ask them if they know someone, and the person goes, this is a no-brainer, and they're in.
That's exactly what happened.
Now,
Yeah, and it took me some time to believe that it would happen, because it's not kind of a normal thing to do, to ask someone if you know someone, unless you are doing it like I ask people all the time about bass players or drummers.
yes.
It's very
Well, that's how
normal.
you and I figured this out. I asked Daniel and I said, so do you have a problem with asking people to do you a favor? And he goes, well, I don't know. And I said, well, let's say you got a gig and all of a sudden you got a paid event. You're already got the posters out. You already got everything out. And then one of your people don't show up. And for those of you that are watching this video live or recorded, he just says, yeah, we have a problem with that with bass players.
Yeah.
He said, so he said, wherever I am, I'll call everyone I know and go,
Easily.
do you know a bass player? Isn't this funny? Everyone, And so Daniel, if you wouldn't mind too, you also were telling me that there's a lot of people out there. I want to start prefacing by people saying that this can happen. That's why I got certain stories picked today. So Daniel, is first language is Spanish.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So there's a lot of people that reach out to me and go, do you happen to have someone that speaks Spanish that lives in my backyard? See, they feel like they can't do this. Well, Daniel not only has taken my videos, but what Daniel's done is take the time to voice over the videos.
Yeah.
So if you guys watch the Spanish video and our, if you click on a Spanish capture page and you go and watch the Spanish 23-minute video, Daniel and his wife did the voiceovers for that. Now, they didn't ask for any permission. They didn't ask if it was okay. They just did it. So then Daniel gets smart enough to take some of my other videos and do a voiceover and create a Spanish YouTube channel.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So now people are looking for this business, are looking for me. And Daniel, what happened? You told me today you're really excited. We're talking to him in the morning.
Yeah, this was amazing. As you said, I created this YouTube channel in Spanish, just translating your stuff, and as you said, edifying you, translating you, it's automatically edifying you. So this one guy in a nearby city here in Colombia called me, and it happens that he was a distributor with the first company that Josh was in with the fuel treatment product, which is the same. He distributed it in Colombia. So he told me, hey, I saw your video on YouTube. Are you the guy who's distributing this product? I was, yeah, for sure. And he said, yeah, this product is amazing. I used it. I sold it to a whole bunch of people. And is this available now in Colombia again? I was, yeah, it's a new thing. And then I told him, yeah, it's the same product, but the guy bought the company and it's exclusive for this new company called My Daily Choice. And he was like, this is amazing. This is a huge opportunity. And all of that was because I started uploading these videos, and I imagined that would happen someday. Like that was the reason. Well, one of the reasons. Other reason is to maybe train people who come in and don't speak English. Right. I would love them to hear you directly. So he's very, very excited because he already distributed the product with a bunch of transportation companies here. So that got me excited. I was like, really? so this is a better business than I thought. He gave me a much more
way to go, Daniel. I am just very proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. I seen some people down here are asking for you to put your YouTube. I think it's Javi. Put your YouTube down there. And Daniel, thank you so much, man. Say hi to your wife, but I just love and appreciate you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to share with you.
So I'm going to switch it up here a little bit. And I'm going to go to a testimonial about FFX. Dana, are you available?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Well, for those of you that don't know Dana Scranton, I would say a friend of mine. He's like family. We've known each other for years. And Dana and I have some incredible psychological conversations, and Dana's one of those individuals that has more degrees than a thermostat. You know, he sometimes says words that I have to look up. But when I thought of, wow, who would thoroughly, you know, check this FFX out to see if it really truly worked. And I thought of Dana right away for the only reason that, how many people do you know that if you reached out to him and said, hey Dana, do you keep any like gas mileage logs and stuff on your vehicle? And he's like, absolutely. So Dana, you know, fellow Montanian, you know, share everybody with what kind of results that, you know, the way that you scrutinized this product, because you're the kind of person that wouldn't share anything with anyone unless you got some proof that it works, and share some of the recent stuff that you got.
You bet. Well, what I did is I first took my old favorite truck, which is a '01 Tacoma with a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder engine, 5-speed manual transmission that I have kept fuel records on since it was new. And so I've got seasonal averages, and, you know, I make notes in my little digital log about when I'm pulling the trailer and, you know, the kind of things that influence mileage. So I put this stuff in there and ran it on that particular truck, and it was getting consistently a mile per gallon, you know, increase just consistently. It seemed like that's what it wanted to do. And then interestingly enough, and I'm looking at seasonal averages. So I'm really looking at summertime mileage versus winter. So I can see exactly what it's doing very tightly. And then occasionally I pull trailers, I pull mowers and landscape gear and so forth. And oddly enough, when I was looking at the averages on that, all of a sudden it's 3 miles per gallon pulling the trailer. You know, I'm kind of curious, but it makes sense because this is a gutless little 4-cylinder Toyota from '01, right? And I live 1,600 feet up from the valley, and so every day I go up the hill, downhill. And I put this stuff in there, and I can instantly feel the power, because now I could go up the mountain in 4th gear without having to downshift to keep people from running over me. So very, very interesting. And then I hear just recently the truck's had it's had an check engine light on it, right? The thing's got 313,000 miles on it. And for the past year or so, it's had a check engine light on, and I took it into the local auto parts store. They put a computer on it, and they said, well, it's an oxygen sensor in the exhaust system. So I said, I'm not going to mess with that. You know, this truck's too old to start messing around with that. So after about the 3rd or 4th tank running FFX in it, the light went off, and it hasn't come back on. So somehow the exhaust effluent that is coming out of the engine has been modified to where it is now cleaning the exhaust sensor. That's the only explanation I can offer. So then take the next step, and I've tested on other vehicles. For example, that's a regular burner. It just uses 86 octane. And just to back up for a moment, when I keep these records, I go to the same gas pump at the same station, and I will sit and wait for somebody to get off that pump so I can go use it, because it's one of the few that has a handle where I can fill the tank right up to the lip. So I always fill it to the same point, not when the nozzle clicks off. I'll stand there for 5-10 minutes and just nurse that thing to where it's right there. So the data's good. And the stuff works. The engine runs better. It's obviously cleaning the cylinders and the exhaust system. But like I say, that pulling a trailer and getting 3 miles per gallon more pulling the trailer, and I've done that 3 times now, 3 tank loads pulling this trailer, and that's fascinating, amazing.
Wow.
I also put it in the Audi, which it's a premium burner. So it uses premium, and it's the latest feedback on that. It was getting 1, and I took it on a road trip to go play taps at a funeral, and it got 3 increase. That was just recently.
Well, Dana,
So
I thank you so much, because there's not too many people that I know that I would just, I knew that I could give you the product and it would be tested properly. And I just thank you so much for jumping on here and sharing it with everyone. I really appreciate it. So would you say that the FFX definitely has a Dana Stratton stamp of approval?
yes, it does. Absolutely. I have given it enough testing to see that it's consistent. And that's probably the one thing I was looking for. Even if it was only adding 1, I wanted to see that it was consistent, and it's just rock solid consistent. Still a little bit of a mystery here and there, but it works.
And one of the things I want to pat you on the back on that I'm really, really proud of you is then Dana reached out to me and said, hey, listen, I have to have a bunch of gravel dropped on my road every year. And it's owned by a father and son. And I think it's time to go talk to him about how he can help us with his gravel trucks and stuff. So Dana, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome. Perfect. Thank you, Dana. So next person here is, where's Patricia? There she is.
Hello.
Hi, Patricia. How are you?
Awesome. Amazing.
Well, to tell you guys something quick about Patricia is, Patricia and I have known each other way before MDC. We both have dear friend named Gordon So that connected us. And Gordon has this thing where he always takes the time to help people become new authors and also co-authors of books. And what we do is we all pull together and promote each other. And we've gotten a number of books, not only to the #1 best-selling on Amazon, but sometimes multiple categories and also multiple countries. And so that's where I met Patricia years ago. And then all of a sudden, when Terry and I decided to jump into My Daily Choice, she's one of those people that didn't hesitate and came in immediately. One of the unique things about Patricia, though, is she got in, but it wasn't the right time for her to build a business. But yet, here's an individual that I just love and appreciate so much. And she basically got in to support Terry and I, and has always been there. And so it was just recently that she's going, listen, I'm tired of you and Terry making so much money and leaving me out. And she's reached out to some pretty successful people. So, Patricia, why don't you share with everyone some of the cool things that are happening with you?
Okay, so when he talks about reaching out to some pretty cool people, right? Gordon So is one of those pretty cool people. And Gordon always said to me, Patricia, if you're going to join a network marketing company, you got to join with the top of the top, the best of the best. And I'm like, well, Gordon's retired, right? And Robert, he's always talking about Robert's like, right up there. And I said, well, Robert's retired too, right? So anyways, it just happened. The universe comes together and I got connected, and it happened to be underneath Robert and Terry. So that worked perfectly. And in that, I was at that event, and it was in Toronto. So I've worked on many book promotions with helping take authors to bestsellers. And Gordon says, well, Patty, when are you going to come into the book, right? Well, when you come in, right? So he wrote a chapter. So now I'm on the hook for launch #3, Landed for Success series #3. So Gordon wrote his book, like his chapter. Finally, I couldn't say no anymore, right? Because I was like, we can promote and not be in a chapter, Gordon. Like, you're doing it. You've never been in a chapter. So anyways, he stepped up. And as a leader, when they step up, you've got to step up too. And I've just seen Robert time and time again, year after year, stepping up as a leader and going. And so, but at that event, I met this other individual by the name of Ed Mercer. And Ed, he's another top network marketer and traveled the world with Jim Rohn, and just amazing, amazing stories that he has to share. And from the beginning, I was like, Mercer, just come over to MDC, come join me, and he's like, no, Patricia, like, I want to do business with you with something, but I don't know what it is. So Ed's kind of like, we've stayed in contact every day. So I want to say I surpassed my siblings, like 2 of my brothers and 1 of my sisters and my mother and my father. So Ed has become like my family, if that makes sense. Like, he's my go-to call, right? Like, he's become my family. He says, Patricia, what are you doing? He's also Mr. Costa Rica. He's back in Costa Rica. And I said, well, I'm doing this gas thing. I didn't want to say it was MDC, right? Because I thought he'd be like, oh, I'm out. But anyway, so he's like, well, how do I get in? I said, well, that link that I sent you, you took the tour before. You can just sign into your tour link. I'm sure it's still there somewhere. And he's not techie. So when he was building network marketing, he was like, watch the video, and he'd travel all over, and he wasn't really techie. So he couldn't get in or whatever. So I said, you know what? Why don't we just join forces on this, Ed? I've got the position, and let's just come together. And he said, okay. So I was like, is this really happening? So I messaged Robert. I'm like, you're not going to like I put us in a 3-way. Oh my gosh, So anyway, so Ed's all in, and Ed's got he's got an amazing, amazing network. And we've just been off to the races since that, with building, not just as a hobby, but as a business. And it's just taken off, right? So
yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you, because you got some people that are just really going after some huge corporate accounts. They're connected with corporate, and they're like trying to get, steamships and all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know where it's going to go, but I just know that numbers don't lie. And I know eventually you're definitely going to get one.
Yeah, I want to say the win this week. So the win this week is, one of the individuals, and Robert, we haven't even talked about this win yet. I was going to put you on a call. He says, well, once I get back from Singapore, I'm going to Singapore for the day. And I said to Ed, I said, you can go to Singapore in 1 day and back? And he goes, oh, he flies on private jets. Like, he's part of a private jet club. I'm like, oh, okay. So that makes sense, right? And I said, I thought he was in the restaurant business and sold his restaurants. But okay, this makes sense, right? So anyways, I'm going to introduce you to him, Robert, and he has offices in Singapore and all over the US. So pretty excited. He's maybe seen him drop there in the back office, but
awesome.
Exciting.
So what's it feel like, Patricia, to get a paycheck every week?
Well, you know what? It's quite fun that, and not that I wasn't getting like money before, because I was making money, but I was always spending it back into the business. So when people ask me, Patty, like, how do you set up the pay account, Patricia? I'm like, you know what? I have to be honest here and tell you, I've never cashed out of MDC. I've always just used the money that I have accumulated to buy more product. And so I said to Ed, like, we've got money sitting back there. I'm like, what should we do with this? So anyways, it's sitting back there, and I'm just looking at it right now. So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you, Patricia. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for jumping on here. I know a lot of the people that I had jump on are all the way on the East Coast. So I really, really appreciate you jumping on. I love you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Sending you love.
Okay, so next thing we'll do here. You guys enjoying? I wanted to just get a few people so you guys see what kind of wins we're looking for. The Sizzle session, again, is if we're doing it on a weekly basis, I want to be able to profile people that are doing what we're teaching and actually getting a result. You know what I mean? So a lot of people sometimes want to talk about a lot of other things, but how many people like hearing people actually building a business? The reason I was so excited to have Daniel on here is Daniel reminds me of me. You know what I mean? He's it's like I'm pretty analytical, and I have a lot of questions, but when someone says, well, listen, no, what you do is you find your best people by bringing in someone and then asking who they know, and then asking who they know, and then you'll get someone that really does the business. And I was like, Now, wait a minute. I was told just to sponsor people and put them in the deal and try to close them and then walk away. How's that working for you? I got a book called How Is That Working? And so when I learned to just use people as a doorway, just use people as a doorway to get to someone that gets to someone to get to someone. Now, I do reach out to people that refer me to people and say, listen, would you like to get in before this person? And I'll use your affiliate link. I do that. But like I've said, I've had people tell me, no, I don't want to do that. So the first thing I want to do for people that got their cameras on is who got a payday today? And if you don't got a camera, if your camera is not on, please post. I got a payday. Yes, my book is on audio, Bruce. You can find it on Audible. Just put in Robert Hollis and bammo. Got 2 books on audio. I also have the audio in Spanish, don't I, Javi? Yeah. So for my compadres, my amigos. And so the next thing I want to show you guys is one of my wins. All right. So a lot of people are always like, hey, Robert, does this business really work? Does it? Well, I got a payday too. But Terry and I just went over 13,544 people that is responsible for our income. So I hope this zooms in. Are you guys seeing it okay? And so when you look there, I'm trying to get it to focus. There it went. All right. So what, 3,229 total subscribers. And so I want to ask everyone a quick question here. If I wanted to increase my income, what do I need to do? Get more subscriptions. So when, Verizon gets up every day and they have a board meeting, what do you think their number one goal is? To get more subscribers. And what are the rest of them? AT&T, every one of them. What do you think the cable company's job is every day? To get some more subscribers. Apple, every one of these companies get up every day and try to figure out how to increase their subscription model. Now, we all know the economy is having a little bit of difficulty right now. And so I just heard that Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers. So do you guys think there's people right now that are hurting financially that are looking through their bank statements and seeing what subscriptions to get rid of? The reason that I can get subscriptions, you guys, is because I'm looking for people that need to make an extra $500 a month. Did you guys catch that? I'm not looking to add to their budget. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? I'm looking for people that need to put more money in their budget. So with that said, is anyone else on here? You can either raise your hand or whatever, but again, I really want to be straightforward. I want to hear what you did this week that's a win for you in building your business. So you can raise your hand. I think if I see Bill's raising his hand.
Hey,
Bill, how are you?
well, one thing is you're pushing this conversation already on the East Coast. Well, I was there at 4:30 this morning. Now I'm in Bend, Oregon.
Oh, so you've been flying all day.
Well, that's, that gas additive is amazing what you can do if you put a bunch of it in there. So, 2,100 miles in 8 hours. Here I am, right?
Oh,
So
my
there's
God.
two things I wanted to do. I went to Charleston last weekend, and I've got an Optima Kia, and so it's 2 quick stories. And I've been watching around town. I'm getting 21, 22. Started putting the additive in. I'm around 28, 29 around Atlanta. So I have a full tank of gas going to Charleston. And I thought, okay, I'm putting it in. And when I left Atlanta, it said, you got 500 miles before, time to fill up again. I go, okay, great. So I turned around, long story short, I went to Charleston, came back from Charleston, and in my meter said I still had 52 miles before I need to fill up. I went 610 miles on one tank of gas. All right. Now, today I arrived in Portland or to pick up my rental car to go down to Bend. And I'm there at the rental car place and she's talking about gas. She wanted to give me this new Mustang. And I said, what kind of mileage? Because I had a message about where I was going. So, well, we're not sure. Let's check. I said, well, She says, I need that stuff. Here, how can I get that? And the person next to me is going, what is that stuff? I said, what's that? Here's my address. You can do that. I don't have any on me. And the guy behind me, he was getting a supercar and he goes, when can I get that stuff? I said, well, I don't have any with me now. So anyway, I wound up, I mentioned it to the rental car lady and she says, well, I usually use Lucas. I said, well, that's great, but that's only got one additive. This has got everything. And it's just, I need that. And anyway, so you just never know. So that's kind of a prospecting, and I don't know where it's going to lead if it is.
Sure.
But for me, a win was the fact that I brought it up, casual conversation,
Yeah.
and you never know where it's going to. And that time, but the bottom line is, I won because I've never gotten. I normally get 500, but this I got over 600 on a one tank of gas.
Bill, the one thing I love that you're about your story, other than you delivering it, you're such a great storyteller. Is I'm now thinking, how many people are going to go to the rent-a-car places and talk to the people that work behind the counter?
It's just simple. It's a simple question. What kind of mileage does this rental car you're giving me get? And
Yeah.
that just opened it up, if nothing else, for them or whatever, and that type of deal. So,
Bill, you're breaking up.
I'm enjoying.
Bill, I'm so sorry. You're
We still
Yeah, I
there?
think we might be losing him.
okay. I'll just mute him.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. How many people like Bill's story? That was awesome, man. Okay, so we got Mr. Shoemaker, Bill Shoemaker. Come on down. You're the next contestant.
All right. Hi, everybody. Hi, Robert. Love you,
Hi, Bill.
Robert.
How are you?
Awesome. Well, I've got a Father's Day story for you.
Okay.
On Father's Day, I was moving my children in next door to me, and I wanted to throw some steaks on the Barbie, but I was out of propane gas. So I went out on the road to get propane gas on Father's Day. And one place was closed, so I was headed down the freeway to another place across town. And I stopped off at a gas station, and a guy next to me, he drove the same car. I drive a 2007 Mercury Grand Marquis. Big,
Wow.
yeah. And he had the same car. And he goes, "You like your car?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "So do you put stuff in your car for better fuel mileage?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Well, I just came off the freeway and I was getting 30 miles to the gallon when I normally get 20. And he goes, "Really?" And so anyway, he was here from California. He was visiting his son. He drives from California to Mexico, back to Arizona. And I had a little bit in my bottle and I showed him how to put it in. I gave him a bottle and he put it in his car and he had enough for another couple of tankfuls. So got his phone number and I'm going to send him a link and, he's going to be my customer. So there you go.
Way to go, Bill. Way to go.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Bill. I appreciate
And
that.
I have been reaching out. I'm connecting to people. I connected 30 people today. And I'm going to, I watched Josh's training and I go, wow, 100 people a day. Well, I'm going to shoot for 100 people a day. Right?
Thank you very much. For those of you that haven't seen Josh's training, he's going to start
amazing.
doing it every Wednesday. And it was so funny. You guys got I was going, wow, nice little chart that you put together, the graphic. And he goes, well, I had to put that graphic together after I watched your training, Robert. He was like, and he's going, I thought so. Yeah, that's cool to really focus on helping people. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate you. I love you, man. Okay, Hobby.
Hey, Robert. Thank you so much for having me here, man. This is such an inspiration, especially now I met Daniel, and it looks like when I was little, when I was probably about 17, 18, I went to play on his high school in Colombia, in
Oh,
Pasto.
wow.
So, man, it was just amazing. You know, we just started talking in the chat, and he said, yeah, I'm from Colombia, Pasto. I said, well, I used to go to Pasto to play basketball all the time in this high school, Javeriana. I said, well, I just graduated from that high school. Oh, do you know Enrique? Yeah, I know Enrique. I was, oh my God, look at this. It's amazing.
I don't know about you Latinos, but if you don't start talking to everyone you know, I'm going to sponsor all of you front level.
No, I'm telling you, I'm starting right now, you know, so definitely so crazy, man. So well, actually, I have two wins, you know. First of all, that I share with you guys, you know, my kids been holding accountable, and it is amazing. Since we started doing that, I've been connected with 263 people, you know, in Messenger and linking. You know, I've been sending 42 videos. Guess how many people watch the video?
How many?
42. It is just insane. And I have one affiliate that she just placed an order 2 days ago. So it's definitely, I mean, it is just amazing, you know, when connecting with you, Robert. And that's, to me, is a huge win, because I don't know if you guys can see my board. Hopefully, well, let me see if I can get closer. That's what I have, the big board. And then I buy some magnets so I can actually, let me see if I can twist the camera. I don't know, there you go. This is my board, you see?
Nice.
And every day, I'm very consistent. I miss one here, but now this is today. This is my write down my goals at night. So I'm gonna do it tonight, and it's gonna be done. So it is just amazing, you know? And the second win that I have is, you know, I've been trying to connect with my sister. She did an MLM way back, like probably 10 years ago. And I said, you know what, this is amazing. Let's place an order. Just place an order and see what happened. Well, she received a message on WhatsApp. Hey, is this you? Can you confirm the address? Because we want to make sure we ship it the product. And she just freaked out. She called me immediately, what's going on? She sent me a screenshot. Hey, what do you do? I mean, now people are calling me. How they got my information? How they got my phone number? And all this. I was, whoa. Hold on. I don't know. Let me find out. Let me just make some couple phone calls. I asked Robert. I called the office, and yes, apparently, who sent that message is the distributor in Ecuador.
Wow.
So I called her back and said, "Listen, yes, just go ahead and confirm that, you know." And we placed the order on Monday, last Monday, okay. And they told me it was going to be like 7-15 days. She received the text on Tuesday. So I was, I thought they told me 7-15 days. So we find out that they have distributors over there, and she received the package today.
Wow.
So it was in less than 4 days.
And that's Ecuador.
So now, in Ecuador. So she texted me back and said, listen, I need to talk to you, because I think the product, the gasoline product, is going to be a bomb here. I already have a couple of people on mine. So now we're talking with some people. Today I spoke with 2 guys, and we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow. And I'm scheduling a third meeting for Saturday with a huge guy there. And man, let me tell you, I was asking Robert today. I said, how do you do how many people in 1 month, 10,000? I said, well, I went crazy. I said, you know what? I need to go crazy 10 hours a day, because I'm working with somebody else 10 hours. And I'm really thinking seriously to start doing that, because if we can develop that in Ecuador, and definitely going to ask Daniel for help in Colombia, because I do have a couple more people in Colombia. So those 2 wins, my sister, you know, from, oh my God, what's going on? What you did to me? And very excited and start building something in Ecuador. It was amazing. But definitely thank you, Robert. I mean, you've been an inspiration for me. You've been a real true mentor, a friend, more than anything. And remember, I told you, I can be your friend, you can be my coach, and you be my coach too, first. And every time I say something, I mean, you get it right, and man, that's inspiration. And all these results thanks to you, my friend.
Yeah,
and more to come for sure.
Yeah, well, Javi, I love you like a brother now, and you know, the 3 best things I could have every one of you do. You've seen Javi got his morning, you know, prayer. He's got his morning, you know, meditation. His night with reading the God Memorandum or listening to it. And you know, the one thing that if all that did for Javi is make him realize he's a miracle, and God created him to be a creator. that he stops beating himself up and believes that he's enough, that he's worthy, that he's deserving. And because Javi still beats himself up. Do any of you guys beat yourself up? And here's how you beat yourself up. You actually think that you need to be a perfectionist to actually speak to another human being. You do not. So Javi's always sending me messages of exactly what he's going to say to someone that he hasn't met yet. And I'm saying to him, Javi, listen, I don't do the same message the same ever. I don't have a script. I use their personal name. So it's like, hey, Pam, you know, I just looked at your Facebook page and you know, I seen you're celebrating, you know, your grandchildren's birthday. And I just wanted to make sure that you're okay and everything's great. And people are going, wait a minute, this guy not only uses my name, but he took the time to look at my Facebook profile before he even sent me a message. Yeah, that took me all of maybe 3 seconds. Like, people are not worth 3 seconds. And then you guys see the way the other people do. They go, hi, how are you? Where are you from? And it pisses me off. I'm going like, all the questions that you're going to ask me is on my Facebook profile. Well, they probably don't look at my Facebook profile because theirs is fake. So even those people, I will leave them an audio. I will. Hi. Hey, this is Robert Hollis. I hope you're doing great, Chris. Thanks for reaching out to me. I hope you're not one of those people that will ask me a bunch of questions that are on my Facebook profile. And you immediately know if it's like a computer or a robot, because the very next thing is, how are you? Delete, block, move on my way. So thank you guys very much. So I see Patricia's got another win.
Hey, I thought I'd just share this story, right? This gas
Please.
story at the win. And so I've been putting Fuel FX in, tracking and measuring. The most I got up to was 844 kilometers. And so when I was going into town, I take my daughter to nature school, and I'm going about 130 on the 401, 140. Not that you should be going that fast. Those are kilometers, not miles. For in Canada here, should clarify. So, but obviously I'm going faster. So you think you have to be burning fuel more. And I tagged Robert in and I said, is this normal? Because my speedometer kept going up and up and up. And I was, by the time I got to nature school, I was 23 kilometers ahead after getting off of the freeway. And I just was shaking my head like, is this normal? Is this even natural? And so fast forward a couple days later, and well, maybe a week later, right? So I've been burning my fuel right to like empty, right? So I won't mention any names of who this was, but they borrowed my car, and the next day I get my car and it's full of gas. So I'm happy, right? For the most part, I think I'm happy. I'm doing all my running around, my errands, I'm here, there, you know, but it's guzzling gas, and it's I have a BMW coupe, right? So it's kind of chuggy. It's like, ugh. And I thought, oh my gosh, because our good friend Gordon said, if Patricia, I tell you what, if your car doesn't blow up in the next 2 weeks, I might buy the product. I'm thinking, is this like a maybe, or you might be really in? So I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this cannot be the week that my car blows up. Like Gordon says he's going to be in. And so I keep driving. I go back and pick up the individual who gassed up my vehicle. And he says, do you hear that like sputtering? I said, yeah, I think there's something wrong with my car. I said, but I'm down to half a tank today. I said, so I have a question. I said, did you gas my car with Fuel FX? Did you put my Fuel FX in? He says, no. I said, well, I said, did you put regular gas in my car? He says, no, I put Supreme in. I said, well, how much did that cost? And he's like, $160. Well, I just about like fainted, because I've been collecting a gas jar, and I've got $430 Canadian. Okay, so we're like a little bit lower here. But I've got 430 Canadian, and I'm thinking you owe me like about another $53 into my gas truck. I said, whose money did you use? Oh, I used my money. I said, okay. So I went immediately and gassed back up my vehicle, and it went back up, and it started running like no sputtering anymore. It's running and it's not chugging gas. And he took the car again. So he realized, okay, she's right. Like, it's not chugging the gas. So then yesterday at the gas station, I've been meeting people. So when Bill was talking about, you know, people in the lineup wanting it, always have these, because at the gas station, I've been giving these out. So I've been meeting people, and one of them is Amy. I'll tell you what her name is, because she's going to come on like eventually and do something. So I went over and I met Amy because she hasn't placed an order yet. And I gassed her up with Fuel FX, and she says, well, I want to meet up with you. So yesterday she's messaging me, can you come over to the gas station? She says, oh my gosh, I just met, you know, the person who gassed up my car. She's like, hey, she's waving him down. I'm Patricia's friend. And do you have Fuel FX in the car? She keeps it in her doorway. He's like, who is this woman? He goes, I feel like it's like people who are trying to buy drugs, and they're like waving me down in the parking lot. Like, she keeps the Fuel FX in her door. So anyways, so that's just a story of, funny.
Thank you, Patricia.
Yeah. Keep these.
Yeah, no, they're funny. I when you had them in your hand, you know, it looked like you were waving money.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm not, I won't go without them. I have so many of them. I'm bored. I'm like,
I never thought, Patricia, don't you do one of those pictures where you're laying on the floor or the bed and you got them all around you?
That'll be next. I'll be bathing with them in the bathtub.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so you guys, I hope you love that. How many people love these Sizzle sessions? You know, because what I want to do is imagine we'll keep gathering them. And as we gather them, we'll keep putting them on YouTube. And, you know, here's something that I've been trying to teach people, that, you know, you can actually go on YouTube, and when you go on it, you can share it, but you can actually share it to where you want it to go on a video. You guys aware of that? So when you click on share, it'll pop up and you can put the video where you want it. So say there's a testimonial in here that you guys like. So as we keep doing this, imagine every Thursday, we'll keep inviting more and more people on here. And eventually people are going to go, well, you got any testimonials? It's like, well, how many days do you have? What do you mean? Well, we've been doing about an hour and a half Sizzle video every Thursday. And so that's about 5 or 6 testimonials. So that times 40, you know, we, because, you know, there's a phrase in this industry, you guys, facts tell, stories sell. So that was the reason to put together these Sizzle sessions. So we got a group of people that can come on here and say, wow, I'm getting a payday. Wow, I'm getting results with the product. Wow, I'm doing this. And I love the testimonials with effects. I know some people would like to give us testimonials on some of the nutritional products, but guess what? The government in the United States won't allow us. So we'll just stay with the effect. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to let you go for tonight. Thank you for taking your time and get on here. It really means a lot. I will definitely put this up on YouTube as soon as I get finished. So I'm going to unmute everyone so they get to say goodbye. And again, I really, really appreciate you guys so much. So let me see here. This will allow you to unmute yourself. So goodbye. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much,
Good
Daniel.
night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert.
See you later.
Bill,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Robert.
much for Patricia, Javi, Bill.
Get a great night. God bless.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. for your
Excellent job
testimony.
hosting, Dad. Great job.
Good job, Matthew.
All right, love you
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Night.
Take care. Bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.